As my men unload the scheduled goods, I can't help but smile as I watch my profits rise quickly. Over 100 bros in a decade. Perfect. The buildings occupied by the Imperial Public Library take up 2 blocks on the western side of the district. The once pristine, but now cracked and dirty marble main building has got to be among the greatest achievements in Imperial architecture. The amount of detail is simply amazing. Yet, the sorry state of the stone is said to reflect that of the library itself, neglected by both imperial officials and common people who it was meant to educate and inform. It slowly regresses and decays into obscurity. A sign is attached to the gigantic double doors leading into the main hall of the library, reading, "Temporarily closed," just as Xandros had said. I press the right side of the double doors gently, but it will not budge. The left one does. I have to put my weight behind it, but I eventually push it open enough so that I can squeeze in. Finding myself in a great dark hall, I light a lantern and wander about, with only echoes as my company. Judged well from the outside, the public library is gigantic, with many wings, several landings with great staircases leading up to them, and vestibules from which chambers and reading rooms open at regular intervals. Peeking inside some of these, I am surprised to see that most shelves are empty. A sad veneer of dust has settled on most surfaces in the chill darkness of the library's interior.
Gods below!
Even though the swearing was not loud, the empty marble halls enhance it so that it is crystal clear. Is there someone there? At first, there is silence, followed by some shuffling coming from a landing above me. Then a lean woman appears on a balcony overlooking the vestibule, holding a candle.
I am here. Who might you be? This place is closed, can't you read?
It's Xandros who sent me. I have something for you.
Have you now? Alright, come up here so we can talk properly. This shouting is killing me.
With that, she beckons and enters a corridor. I hurry up the stairs, follow her along the corridor, and stumble into a cramped office lit by candles and crystal lamps.
In here, yes.
The small room has books all over it, on floor-to-ceiling shelves, in piles on the ground, in display cabinets, even stacked into pillars. The single window's shutters are closed. Tertia Sartra now stands in front of her desk and gives me a good look. Then, clearing her throat, she holds out her hand with a pleasant smile. I hand her the volume of Custodes. While she is leafing through it, I observe the woman. Slender and athletic of build, Tertia Sartra seems to be in her late 30s. Her jet-black hair, tanned skin, and sharp features indicate a Tarkian heritage, even if only partially. She is dressed in a blue-white tunic and a shin-length skirt. Her jewelry is bronze but well made. There is a nervous energy about her that is hard to describe. I am yanked out of my inspection by her shutting the book. Narrowing her eyes, she suddenly becomes quite serious.
So why are you really here?
And so, I begin my account of how I got here, how I see my travels as a quest for knowledge, and of my interest in the secrets of the world.
Well, it is one thing to seek knowledge and another to be willing to preserve it for posterity. I believe Xandros told you that I'd be interested in that. He's right. I have been working on something, let's say, an enterprise. One that'll ensure that uncensored knowledge survives into another age. A better age. The thing is, I need others to finish the work. Specifically, someone who gets around, someone like you, Vagrus.
Interesting.
The book had a hidden message.
Well, what does it say?
Xandros recommends you. But would you be truly interested in working together?
I want to learn more about the world, its secrets, and the truths they keep hidden from us. Tertia claps her hands. The sound echoes along the empty corridors of the library.
Exciting, isn't it?
She chuckles and sits down behind her desk, but only after kicking some books off a chair that she indicates to me. While I make myself comfortable, she is searching the tabletop frantically, eventually finding a faded drawing with a glorious exclamation.
What do you think?
She hands me the drawing. It looks like a contraption of sorts, a hexagonal frame with what look like carved, runed crystals placed all over its odd form. Even with everything I have seen during my travels, I have a hard time figuring out what this construct is for.
A thaumaturgical way of recording knowledge, memories, even sensations.
How?
A crystalmancer is capable of imbuing the right kind of crystal with this capability, but these days, even the best of them tend to be able to record only fragments. However, the ancient ones are said to have been capable of making imprints of entire minds. Imagine the potential of such a device.
Where did you get this drawing from?
Oh, no, you misunderstand.
She takes it and puts it away.
These are plans for such a device laid out by another of my fellow seekers. It's a work in progress, though. And quite frankly, we've hit a wall recently. I am told that we need pristine memory crystals to be able to complete the device because, unfortunately, my husband got the skill to craft them. Or, well, it would take decades. So I was about to give up, but then I found this.
Tertia rummages through a pile of books, finds what she is looking for, and puts it in front of me. On the cover is a white tower, much like a spike.
The Sunken Tower.
The Sunken Tower?
That's the colloquial term for the Tower of Icarius.
She hands me the book, which appears to be a travelogue. She has bookmarked several sections in which the Sunken Tower is described in some detail, even though the author has only briefly glimpsed it once during his journeys of the West.
It used to be a magnificent place, a center of knowledge and learning where the elder races taught us, humans, but allegedly they also took lessons themselves. Imagine such a place. Mages, priests, scholars, and artists, all living together in harmony. Unthinkable in our times.
What happened to the tower?
The calamity happened to it. It's mostly buried now. Haunted, if one believes the tales. What's intriguing for us, however, is that nobody has explored its halls since. At least no records of such a venture exist here. And if it's not here, it doesn't exist.
I assume that you want to break into it and discover its secrets.
That's where you come in. One of the tower's wonders was their crystalmancers. I am sure that they left some pristine crystals behind, just like the ones we need. Additionally, the potential to recover forgotten knowledge from the ruins is very promising. So first, you should explore it to see if its resources can be tapped. Unfortunately, the Sunken Tower is in the worst stretch of Arena's Vorax, and allegedly, only the Sadirar can get to it safely. If you were to convince their council of shamans at Sadirar Village, you could be the first one to take a good look at what's inside.
That you're asking may take time. I'm not even sure I'll succeed. I don't know much about the Sadirar.
There's no rush, but I'm eager to hear from you should you succeed.
What do you recommend regarding the Sadirar?
Only the Sadirar can take you to the tower, as it sits right in the middle of Arena's Vorax, famous for devouring travelers all the time. And the Sadirar will only give you desert guides if you can convince their shamans in the fabled spirit hall at the foot of the mountain of Kor. And so I suggest traveling to the Sadirar villages and finding out what they want, what they need. Go along with whatever they want. Let's see if that convinces their overtribe. Then seek out the village of Sadirar and see if they let you talk to the council of shamans.
I would like you to tell me about Xandros. How do you know him?
Not a demonkin, a demon. Well, at least half demon. That's my theory, at least, based on everything I know about him. We first met, 15 years ago at least. I was traveling in the northernmost provinces, journeyman years, you understand. Most spend it in the town down the road, but I wanted to see what's out there. Anyway, I found his shop, the one that's in Larnac now. It keeps popping up in places, and it's tied to Zandros in some way. Did a little research later, you know. He's been called many things in the last centuries in the faraway settlements he had visited. The Shadow of Knowledge, the Keeper of Secrets, Soul Reader. There's no point in talking to him about it, of course. He'll just deny everything. But whatever his true nature is, he's dedicated to the search for knowledge and secrets. That is why he keeps helping me with my venture.
Why is the library almost empty?
A sad state of affairs, am I right? You can easily guess what happened. Religious fanatics. Listen, I try to keep an open mind about everyone and everything. That's what true seekers should do. At least that's how I see it. But the Sergorodite crazies have been circling me for some time now, looking for an excuse to do me harm. Why? They find knowledge harmful. And by extension, anyone who wishes to preserve said knowledge too. Of course, not all knowledge. But they wish to censor everything not to their liking in the Empire. The followers of a god of vengeance, no less. I'd be a joke if it wasn't dead serious. People get executed for preaching certain ideas, see? And after a while, the confiscation got out of hand. You can see the results.
I find it hard to believe the church had the public library emptied just because of you.
Oh no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm merely last in a line of librarians who watch helplessly as this grand institution is being reduced to an empty tomb. The meticulous confiscation of volume after volume started long before I got the job of head librarian here. Honestly, the Sergorodites began to wage war on knowledge about 200 years ago. You can read about this. Well, you could, had they not removed all the books on it.
Can you tell me more about the device you're working on?
I should name it already. It'd make it easier to talk about it. Well, for now, it's in the planning phase except for the frame, as that's been taken care of by my Crystal Mancer ally. Wasn't exactly cheap, just so you know, but I suppose that's what all good causes are like.
Indeed.
The frame will hold the crystalline nexus together. It is enchanted so that the memories in each crystal node can be experienced without being compartmentalized. You can just enter the nexus and leap from memory to memory. It's all very intricate, like a mind, really, except it's not conscious. If we manage to put it together, that is.
And how will all these memories be recorded?
Well, when we have enough pristine crystals, we can record a lot of knowledge using crystalmancy right from our minds. Entire books, personal experiences, you name it. Then these can be accessed by anyone who interacts with the device later.
All right. I'll first see what I can do with the Sadira.
Good luck, Vagrus.
As I walk through the city, I remember my promise to Gorgoro and tell myself that becoming known at the Bestiaris Arena could be a good start. As my companions prepare, I see 3 gigantic worms being brought into the arena. These monstrosities move quickly, too quickly for Garrick. Fortunately, these worms are not immune to magic. Harvek lunged forward, followed by Gorgoro, both targeting the same worm, whose head was so massive that Garrick could aim without difficulty. Having found a weakness, Harvek wounded the second worm, which unfortunately managed to evade Gorgoro's violent attack by moving erratically. The crowd is going wild, and I hear many last-minute bets being placed while my companions fight for their lives. Gorgoro managed to severely wound one of them. Finderath tried to finish it off, but it burrowed underground. With only one target left, my 4 companions relentlessly focused on it. Finderath tried to strike both, but his magic seemed to dissipate into the ground. Realizing this, the sorceress took advantage of Gorgoro's attack to unleash her magic at the worm's head, killing it. With his weapon loaded and ready, Garrick waited and positioned himself between his allies before finally firing and finishing off the last worm. Where could they possibly have found such creatures? I sincerely hope I won't encounter any during my travels. With the coming days ahead, I decide to stock up on medical supplies. I stock up on supplies and negotiate a stock of obsidian, a gift for Prince Leacor. Then I take a look at several contracts. Arken and Devon will be my next destinations. Garrick is always around when it comes to bargaining. He quickly realized he gets a small percentage out of it, and he advised me to take some pottery to Arken. I also recruit a number of mercenaries, as I intend to head to the lair of Corneus Serpentis. The profits are good, and Garrick was right about the pottery. Afterwards, I negotiate other long-term contracts for Devon. I fill the remaining mounts with marble. It has been almost a month since we were attacked by the demons that seem to follow Nidir. Everyone is on edge, and the night watches have been doubled. I can also see that each evening, the spellcasters prepare several protections. I hope it will be enough. I am woken in the middle of the night to the sound of yelling and fighting. It immediately dawns on me that Nidir is under attack again, and I rush out of my tent to join the scuffle. The night air is heavy with the smell of sulfur, and the ripping sound of fell portals opening mingles with the alarmed shouts of people. This time, my crew was ready, and so was Nida. Arcane glyphs she placed slowed the appearance of the demonic marauders. A fight is still on my hands as my cums corral the creatures into the middle, where I can pin them down. Nada's magic seems to be working, as Renkailon and Gorgoro manage to hit the demons easily. They seem disorganized, and their movements appear slower than I remember, especially seeing Harvek kill one quickly. Unfortunately, in the darkness, Garrick missed his shot before the area was illuminated by Finderath's spells. One of them was severely wounded by Renkailon before managing to dodge a deadly blow from Gorgoro. Outnumbered, what appeared to be their leader perished in a fireball from Nidir, while a second one collapsed, electrocuted by Finderath. Covered in ashen blood, Harvek beheaded the last demon. Finally, the last of the demons is destroyed, its body burning up in flames and vanishing during its death throes, just like the rest before it. Only piles of fine grey ash remain behind after the nightmarish attack. Panting, I check on everyone. The Comitatus suffered no losses, and everyone is fairly galvanized after the demon's failure. Fires are put out, and wounds attended to. Once my cums settle down, and I make sure I am safe. Nydia thanks me again for saving her from the denizens of the abyss.
The longer it takes to gather the components for the ritual, the more dangerous this will become, I'm afraid.
I had understood that the first time.